Oh, alright, good morning, or good evening, whatever time of day you find yourself in. I am awake. Some would say barely, but we are here. And let's do the first reveal. It's going to be green tea. So, green tea today, no beer. Anyway, good morning, all. I'm super happy to hear you here, to have you here, to hear you here as well. My son is napping of sorts. He's doing his favorite position, which is not good, but if he's sleeping, he's tossing and turning, but he's okay. I thought we would do maybe the first few minutes, kind of what John is going to be doing on his side, because he's going to be doing this later in the video as well, and kind of reviewing what Banana Monkey plays. So I've already kind of done this, but I thought we could quickly look through it together. Just kind of get an idea of what might be happening. Here's Banana Monkey, and Banana Monkey is black. And I'm actually just gonna cut to like the last, I don't know, call it like the last X months. Let's do that. I know that John loves to play kind of knight f3, c4 transpositional stuff. So I thought maybe c4 is an easy thing to try and see what happens. d4, knight f6, and there's nothing, so let's not worry about it too much. g3, d5. Alright, so got an idea of like a reverse Sicilian kind of story maybe there. From my previous view, it looked like you might find something like a Queen's Indian defense on the board, which I thought would be quite fun. Maybe we should go a little bit further. Maybe it's a little bit not enough. Screw it, let's just go back to the start of last year, why not? That might be better. Yeah. c4, c6 seems to be the response. Here's a knight f3 now finally. d5. Okay. That could go into something like a Slav. Anglo-Slav. This is the English Caro-Kann. I didn't even know that existed. Okay. This was a bullet game at that point though. Knight f3 directly, which I think has been John's main defense forever and main opening for now. Forever and ever. Then c4. Okay, this transposes into something different a little bit. b6. Oh yeah, so here's the Queen's Indian defense kind of situation coming on the board. This is still called Anglo-Indian King's Knight variation, but I mean, isn't it basically a Queen's Indian? Checking my chicks still quickly as well. Oh, good morning, good morning. I was too excited. Oh, right, it's 1 a.m. on your side. Yeah, you gotta get some naps in soon, hey? Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of summarize there. So I was expecting like a Queen's Indian defense is the main thing. There's more moves here. Let's say Queen's Gambit declined. Knight f3. Oh, so there's a ton of games here going into Taras, pseudo Taras. So that'll be fun as well. Just gonna make sure they haven't gone live yet. Yeah. How about e4? e4, c6. So this kind of c6y line is happening a lot. This is a Caro-Kann, obviously. Knight f3 behind that. Probably d5 as well, yeah. I like Banana Monkey's style because it's quite stable. They play very similar stuff all the time. They don't vary too much. I'm unfortunately or fortunately in the same boat. Although I feel like I should try to branch out a little bit as well. Oh, Jordan. Oh, yeah, Jordan. So I'm on a different time now, so you're not busy. You're not busy driving, right? Yeah, please enjoy dinner. This is definitely going to be one and done. I don't think 7 a.m. is a time I can do very often. My cheers. Oh, copaceticness. Do I remember the pronunciation right, Mennonite? You play Banana Monkey if you I did see on their profile here that they've played quite a bit of, so this is like 3 months, right? They've played quite a bit of classical, you know, not too infrequent. So clearly so over here, for instance, this looks like they're doing more than just one league. So maybe they are in team league as well as in Lone Wolf. So we'll see. Alright, here we go, and it is D4. Alright, game started, let's do this. Let's do it. Very nice. Streaming on YouTube at, is that my name? I think so. Knight f6. Okay, already this looks a little bit different. So I might actually keep my analysis board open in the background, just for a little bit, and we can make this just forever and ever. And we'll just see d4, knight f6, c4 as white, no, as black. We go e6. We can just see if it kind of goes according to the game we expected. Barbley wants us to, yeah? Okay, so probably this is still within some kind of prep for fins as well. And then knight f and knight c both are visible still in what they've played in the past. Knight f3. Yeah, Fins is a knight f3 player in most situations. I doubt they would walk. Yeah, here's the Queen's Indian defense basically, right? Nice. Okay, so my analysis board check is sort of basically done now. Basically done. I'm not going to do picture-in-picture kind of stuff. Oh, this is a little bit out of the ordinary, I think. Nice. Getting onto the diagonal that hits the pawn immediately. Oh. Oh man, okay, I'm starting to wake up now with this tea a little bit, that's nice. Oh no, John is still provisional, I see, that's not good. Let's quickly open up his profile and see how far away he is from getting his ratings stable. 157, oh that's still a while, yeah, he's winning too much. Yeah, he's winning a bit too much. Alright, here's G3 was on the board as well, so awesome, we're getting like a little Catalan setup. Yeah, this is basically John's bread and butter, right? So I'm sure there's no big surprises for them here. I'm expecting Banana Monkey, if they did any prep, probably know something like this. Some rapid playing saying this is a good line. Nice. We'll see. Would it be bad to just go E3? In this situation, I wonder what the plan would be. Oh, hang on, I could probably put this on. Well, I don't know. Should I keep the chat open or should I put it on the other side? Amir Christian, so looking forward to this match. I lost mine this morning, but there was a lot to learn from it. Oh, well, Amir Christian, that happens. I had a terrible game this week, and my biggest lesson was don't play strategies that I don't play correctly. But, indeed, I like the point about learning as always. Hello Susie Dent, good morning. Great, I got the pronunciation right. Queen c2, still super standard Catalan-y stuff. G3 is already committed. Oh, Amir Casual. Oh, Amir Casual is probably Amir Christian on stream, right? I'm guessing. Yeah, they asked about is E3 strange to play there. Basically, yeah, I mean, some rapid players said it's not losing, right? But yeah, you've already made one diagonal open. So you don't maybe want to open up the second one if you don't have to. So we'll see. Hi Flippy Tube, nice, nice. Yeah, I can stick around the Southern B6, G3, Bishop A. Okay, so this isn't something Banana Monkey seems to have played ever online. But we can open up the theory crafting over here. Queen c2 is definitely a move. And I can close Finn's profile as well. Now can this close? There we go. There we go. Queen c2 and now it's black's turn to move. I mean there's no initial problem, but obviously they've got this coming, so they're gonna probably want to play c6 or d5 or knight out something. You're gonna want to block up the diagonal while you move your rook, right? So we'll see. 16 so far, we're still definitely under. But we've got a ways to go so we can see how it turns around over time. Alright, I gotta admit I like what white is doing just because... Oh, my voice. Just because it's so easy to redo, right? Standard Catalani setup. This knight can go either way. This bishop still has its diagonal, although a lot of the time you actually end up just putting it back somewhere depending on what black does. And in terms of what black will do over here, they're probably looking at d5 now. I wonder, do you want to play d5 before you play something like bishop e7? I'm not going to open up the analysis for to check the theory move, because that's no fun. But we can keep on following the game there just to see what we see. Okay, so they do just play a little standard bishop out. It's a little standard bishop out over here. Pop. Yeah, we still got a few games going. I don't think there's too much of a guess here. Bishop g2 makes perfect sense. John always tries to throw in these little curveballs, like, oh, should I do this now because then I can do this, this, this. In this situation, if they did any kind of curveball, I think it would just be e3, but then the bishop drops and they can't play it because after they castle, the rook is there, so... e4, sorry. I don't think that happens. Some rapid play says they haven't seen bishop e7 before. Yeah, there's still one or two master games in this position. I mean, you'd expect it because you basically just played kind of standard-ish moves except for the bishop coming to the other diagonal. So let's see how it looks. Bishop e7, c5 transpositions. Queen's Indian defense is really fun, but it's a little bit tricky for black to play, to understand. Yeah, there's the bishop up. I don't think there's too much to think about. But now there's something for black to think about because this is opening up. So, because they put their bishop out on the different diagonal, they now have this kind of gaping hole that they have to take care of. What are they going to do? We'll see. Yeah, not a very Euro-friendly start time. What time is it on your side, by the way? I mean, 7 AM for me isn't exactly great. Oh, it says 7 AM for me is like... Yeah, that's around about midnight or whatever on the Euro side, right? Yeah, some rapid playing say bishop e4 is a move. I mean, if you have the check, it's always a move, I think, because at the very least you can trade off. But then you're basically going into... Then probably you wanted to keep your bishop here. Oh wow, okay, so they're gonna let white kind of try and get into this. They have some easy stops for it though. Take, they can take with the knight, they can take with the pawn. Yeah, there's no immediate... If this knight was moving, then you have this classic idea of knight g5, hitting something on the diagonal and threatening mate at the same time. Alright, white also just going ahead. So yeah, they kind of constantly have this threat hanging now. It doesn't immediately lead to anything, but they have it, right? Okay. And black just says, cool, fair enough. My job here is done, and puts the bishop back. Queen c2 was basically a normal move though, so I think this is probably a little bit of a tempo loss, unfortunately. Let's pop over here. Bishop g2 was the move, followed by castle and castle. So this apparently did... Okay, now, yeah, c6, d5 were main, but they played back. And probably this is... Oh, they're still a little bit alive. There's still 1 or 2 games. And this is now white's situation. You can't play e4 directly. You have to either prepare it with a knight or with a rook. You can put your bishop out, but it's going to get pushed away. And that also kind of spoils your fun on this diagonal a little bit, I guess. So this is probably out. So your main moves might be just here. Maybe rook over. Knight a3 doesn't really add any value, I think. Not that I can see immediately. Ah. Hang on, let me catch up again here. JB making a more flexible opening again. Yeah, I mean, I guess he's basically just playing like a standard, standard wide opening almost, I would feel like.
the semi-systemy Catalani opening, right? You can do it against almost everything. So yeah. Summer play 8 a.m. for you. Yeah, you're 1 hour ahead of me, right? So if I was on your time zone, maybe it would have been slightly more comfortable. There goes the knight c6. This is still Master Games. Very standard. I guess this knight move to knight bd2, that really helps your break here or to retake there. So without that being a specific need, probably knight c3 is just always better. Rook e1 I think was also okay, but why not just get your minor pieces out? And I already mentioned that I don't know, this dark square bishop is normally kind of without a clear purpose. So you can see, for instance, it coming here and putting some pressure on the c pawn, but I don't know. Maybe they'll do it. Maybe they'll put the bishop out. The other thing you can do, I know, is you can put the bishop out, you can move your rook over, and then you can drop it back again. So in some of the Catalan lines you do that, which is quite nice. Some Rabbit player continuing with their insightful stuff. c5, d5 gambits exist, so just coming out at the center with all your pawns. Knight c3, let's put it on the board. Yeah, there's still a few moves here. You could expect this to be a position that someone else has played in the past. Hang on, let me read again. I'm in America, 6 p.m. here. Yeah, that 6 p.m. is pretty good though, isn't it? It's after work. Even if you're like on the train going back or in the car, you can probably listen like Jordan always does. Was his prep on the board? We'll find out in the video. Yeah, I'm not sure if his prep was on the board specifically, but I think it was a very easy. Even I kind of expected a Queen's Indian defense of sorts, so I think John would have seen it for sure. Maybe he just didn't know which way he wanted to go in case there was some other line that Black also plays, right? And I think I'm about 6 hours behind a lot of the European players. What is your time zone, Mennonite? I mean, I'm 7 hours ahead of like Greenwich line. I know, I'm 7 hours ahead of +2 of South Africa. Yeah, so it's late evening into midnight, depending where in Europe you are. That's kind of the thing. Yeah, Summer Play. Oh, Summer Plays, thank you so much for coming here with your comments as well, putting in them on both sides. Appreciate it very much. Jordan is -4 UTC. What is that even a time zone? Does that even exist? Yeah, White plays d5. Yeah, I do think this is a tiny concession, but I'm also, if it's gonna have to happen, yeah, here's d5 now. I do feel kind of glad that Black did it if they had to. It's not a happy situation, but they're probably not massively behind in development. And if you're gonna concede like that, maybe this is something I can already take away from the game. If you're gonna do it, stop, paying attention, feeling sad about it, and just play your bishop back. Because BananaMonkey played that really fast. They didn't sit around and wait, they just played. Okay, here we go, d5. And White's opening up a little bit. I mean, c takes t is so natural in so many positions. Takes with the pawn. Probably this is the best way to take. Taking with the knight allows you to get kicked with e4 at some point. At least now if e4 comes, you can take and give White the IQP. So that feels pretty good. Okay, hang on, we continue. d5, takes. Yep, still. Oh, hello, we've transposed a bit. Queen's Indian defense, Fianchetto variation, and Nimzovich variation. Okay, so this is a double variation name. So we're still within theory then. Very nice. I love how some rapid player just seems to know all the positions. Like how many years of chess did you have to play to be that good at knowing all those things? It's kind of insane for me that you always seem to know every position from everything. Yeah, here comes the bishop to that f4 square. Pretty good. Hey, it's Jim. Hello, Jim. I don't know, I'll be here for long, might be for a run. Fair enough. Oh, a morning run? That's really nice. Do you work from home? What's the situation? Yeah, there's got to be some strong positions still. Oh, you used to play the Queen's in defense. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of a birthday, but seriously, you seem to always know. I'm so jealous. Really nice, though. A morning run. Jim, I really still love the banner, by the way. Thank you so much for letting me use it again. It looks super nice. Even in, fixing up the name for Banana Monkey, I was really happy to kind of see what you did in the past. Just even like the little grading of color behind the name and stuff, it's really nice. I just study random openings when I'm bored. Okay, how many years have you played, by the way? Bishop F, here we go. Still theory, all theory, everything's theory. Alright, black to play and what? Play and win. Black to play and win. Do we want to go for some kind of hanging pawn situation? If they take back. We've got little pawns over here. Yeah, I can see this d pawn getting a little bit, uncomfortable in the long run though. But how else do you get this knight out? Knight a6 to try and jump over here. Knight a6 to try and get, well, you can block in your light square bishop if you want to put your knight on these squares, for instance, but that doesn't make any sense. This square is maybe not so bad, but yeah, like here. You could just get there a normal way as well, but this just seems really silly, so probably not. But now white can put a lot of pressure on the c file that's half open. They already have this jump, which might be nice, just to put pressure on that c pawn, like I said earlier, when you put the bishop over here. I know that this is also a move in many variations. It's just frustrating that black can keep on kicking your bishop around. Although I think there might be some tricks there, isn't it? Knight over, take the pawn in the middle, and once you take back... Ooh, no, hang on. Then you can take with the queen, and if you jump your knight to threaten mate there, you can actually mate white. So that could be a fun refutation at least. That could be pretty good too. No problem. Is it easy to change the color? I mean, I didn't change the color. I stole the color from what you already did, right? I just... what's the drop? The drop tool. I just grabbed it. And then I realized that you didn't do a solid red, you did like red and then grade it into like dark at the bottom, so I tried to just kind of do the same. But yeah, like fixing it up made me appreciate the detail of your artwork a little bit more, even, so it was really nice, thank you. Yeah, that was really nice. I mean, there's a lot of detail in something like that, right? So even though I looked at it the first time, then the second time, then the third time, I see a bit of extra detail. Oh, knight bd7. I think that makes a lot of sense. This still makes me feel like we might be playing c5 at some point. Against d4 openings, you almost always have to play c5 at some point, right? It's really hard to play the game without it. This also allows you to get your rook out, which is maybe good, defending the pawn, keeping things safe. Although this is going to hit both of these guys, so what is black going to do on that? How do you keep both of these safe? Yeah, that's a triple attack on that pawn, hey? You know what? Maybe it's knight b5 and then just c6, little stutter step. If you jump the knight here, does it matter? I doubt that black wants to trade off their bishop there, though. So maybe here. This isn't enough. You just don't have enough defense, and this pawn's also hanging. Otherwise, c5 might be a thing. Okay, just defending their pawn immediately. Interesting. Okay, over to d1. Okay, so they're clearly playing queenside games now, right? They're not going to play on the e file. They're going to put the other rook probably on c1. And they're not going for this immediate attack, so probably they found some easy way for black to refute it. Maybe they just don't want to invite this. But again, I feel like there's this... I don't know. Do you just move that bishop and it's all okay? I wonder what the deal is. Yeah, maybe... I don't know. Did anyone have anything specific against knight b5? Because it did look a little bit uncomfortable for black. We can put that on the board here, and rook fd. Wow, still playing theory, amazing. Okay, and I've got to say, it's not like I think Finns knows this position. Maybe they do,
But I'm expecting they don't specifically, and they just have this general move because they've decided where to play, because they know they need to keep the pawn safe without playing e3. You don't play e3 because you don't want to block your dark square bishop out into the front, so maybe there's just some standard logic that gets them to that move instead of knowing the specific position. Yeah. Yeah, but you can also change the color every week. I guess I could. I mean, I'm not... Jordan is going to kind of handle the... who's going to take the next one, so I doubt I'll be able to do another one, at least for the time being, but of course, if I can do it again, I would love to cover one of these again, yeah. Yeah, Jim's basically just doing the good work for the whole community. I can't produce consistently. I think you're doing pretty fine. I mean, consistency is pretty relative to what is required. It's not like we have some new thing every week. Although we can still try and... Actually, we have another FM joining the league, by the way. Probably. They applied already. They have a non-provisional rating. So probably we're gonna see another master player joining the league in the coming week or two. I'm expecting them to be able to be approved. We'll see. Oh, and how unfortunate that other guy, Marlinen, got tagged on their account. That doesn't 100% mean they cheated, by the way. There are other reasons they could have gone as well. Using multiple accounts, sharing an account, doing something silly like that. Maybe their kid or friend or someone has a Chess account and they ended up playing on that on the same IP or something. I have no idea. But yeah. Here we go. Oh, okay, so black also just decides they're going to shore up their center. Now their dark square bishop looks a bit silly, so... Okay, admittedly, black playing bishop a6, bishop b7, and now c6 does make the bishop look a little bit silly. So if they only did bishop b7, then c6 wouldn't feel quite so silly, I guess. But yeah, I gotta say, I'm not sure if you actually want to move that bishop right now, though. You do probably want to get a rook out. You want to stop anything from coming to the b5 square. Oh, I actually think I need to eat something quickly. I'm so sorry, I drank green tea on an empty stomach and it always makes me feel a bit ugh, so give me 2 seconds. Let me just get a tiny little... will the YouTube chat be visible when watching later? No, the YouTube chat is not visible because I'm not showing it, but I can put it back up, sorry. If it's something you want to see. There we go. I can keep it visible like that. Just let me get a tiny yogurt. I'm not used to streaming in the morning. My stomach feels a bit uncomfortable. And I don't want to sit here feeling uncomfortable the whole time. Okay, sorry about that. Maybe a little bad prep on my part, not considering what the morning's going to feel like for me. Alright, but anyway, c6 on the board. Oh, and John will always be talking about his time advantage as well. He's happy that he still has a slight time advantage. He's going to be saying that a lot in this video for sure, so we'll see. He's currently still about a minute and a half, 2 minutes up. Cheers, tiny yogurt, by the way. Already feeling much better. Very good, very good. Okay, so there's the YouTube chat. Sorry, now you can't see Chess, but now it will be visible during the stream. Jim, oh, you want them to change the coloring a little bit? Yeah, you don't have to draw anything. There should be a slider to change the color effect. Yeah. Using the clock as a weapon. I don't know. I mean, John tends to use the clock as a weapon against himself, I think. Although in my training games, basically exactly the same thing happens, so maybe I should be happy that I have a similar problem as someone so strong. Yeah, painted an old car and it's new and again. Very nice. Jim, I mean, I can do the slider thing as well. I've become a little bit more proficient with paint.net. So if that's a requirement, I can help just change the coloring of it. Anyway, here we go. C6, so white to play. I mean, rook AC1 is a clear move to consider. There might be something like a knight jump to E5 at some point. Because this rook's on D1, E4 isn't really happening, I think. White might also consider something like this, just expanding on this side of the board. I doubt they're going to play A4 though. I think it just leaves too much open on the diagonal, so probably A3, B4 will be a move they can consider. Yeah, that queen still has to get developed as well, so whether or not white finds some amazing move, black just doesn't have quite as much space. So I think almost certainly this is going to happen. Oh, I should still put this on the board. What did we see? C6. Alright, we're officially out of theory. In this, hang on. Yeah. In this position, knight e4 and rook c8. Rook c8 I think is really natural. I was expecting that, but maybe we're just doing a little bit of a transposition. Playing the pawn up first. Oh no, okay. So, reconfiguring the light square bishop onto this diagonal here. Okay, so now if you put the rook there, they can jump out their knight, and the knight is a little bit pinned. A little bit more uncomfortable again. Yes, actually they're seeing a lot, you know, that you've used these pawns to kind of build a little bit of thing for you, but now white's got so much space, so much visibility. Vision, that's the word I'm looking at. So much vision behind the pawn chain, actually. That can't be great. I still think rook ac1 is supernatural. On black side, I mean, this discourages you from developing your rook, so now your rook and your queen are feeling a bit uncomfortable. Maybe you still just develop it. And you can't move your light square bishop like back. Like undevelop everything to trade it off. Probably that's not going to happen. Yeah, this is difficult for black to find some solid way to play. Pawn up somewhere. You probably do want to play this anyway though. I mean, you have to develop your pieces in some way or other. So I don't know, maybe you still walk into it. We'll see. At J Flippy's previous stream had a chat replay, but most of them seem to not have it. Yeah, it's only on the video itself, it's only visible if I keep it on like this, if I make it part of the stream's elements. But it should be visible in the YouTube chat that plays along with the video as well. I just don't know how the settings work. I think sometimes it only comes up. I think I can set it whether it comes up when it was said during the video or just all visible. Maybe. So you kind of have to like scroll to around about when people said something for it to be seen. Alright, they decide to play their rook over to e8. So could this be idea to drop the bishop into f8, open up the rook like this? Maybe this bishop can find some new life as well, put some pressure on e2. And then after you play e3, they can try and snap off your dark square bishop in some way maybe. Okay. Also just completely avoiding the development of this queen side, with the queen included. Yeah, Barbelay, we don't have enough people watching. Okay, and here comes white into the e5 square, putting pressure on that knight now. So this guy, I mean, you can trade it off, obviously. How would they take with the bishop? I'm guessing. Is this also looking at the c5 square? So now when this knight moves, anyway, really, this guy looks a little bit weak. And also taking here gives you the queen as a threatened piece and the bishop, which comes with check. So if for some reason they were able to take here and you pin it, you can obviously still take the bishop and then get out of the way. If you don't take this knight, this isn't quite working yet, I would think. You know, take back, and this knight can't do anything that useful just yet. It's actually being covered by that same bishop that takes back. Okay, black just says, never mind, no knight on e5 for you. Alright, now this bishop gets a little bit more scope, I guess. I can't see them taking with the pawn. Although the pawn does hit this guy, which means that the h side gets... Wait a minute, you take with the pawn, I jump my knight over here. Yeah, do take with the pawn, very interesting. Okay, so if you go backwards, I guess white's just going to say I've got more space, more control, more everything. You have to recycle your knight somewhere else. You only have these two squares to choose from. This front one loses a pawn, I guess that doesn't really... Oh no, that's... Oh sorry, it's pinned to your queen as well. So you only have these options to choose from, really. Yeah, okay, goes ahead and tries to hit that knight. Yeah. Hang on, let's see. Autocorrect fun, yeah. When you're losing on the board, hit your opponent in the face with the clock. Yeah, I guess so. JP making light square bishop shine instead of dead. Yeah, it's suddenly doing something nice. What about knight h5 and starting taking white questions on their pieces? Well, there we have it now, although it's kind of forced by white, so they already have some answers, I'm assuming. Summer player having a jog. Great, man. Have a nice jog. I'm actually a little bit jealous because the weather here is really nice for a jog as well. It's rainy season, but it's kind of just cool and enjoyable tonight. It's just pretty nice. Yeah. If bishop c8, knight x c6, queen is trapped. Bishop c8. Oh, this point. Oh, I mean that bishop c8 was a little bit of a silliness. I didn't think anyone would actually consider that for real. I'm afraid JB is quickly shutting down black's active plan and then begins applying more and more pressure. Yeah, that sounds about right. Hey, bishop knight e7, e6 is painful. Yeah, coming in with that e6, even if it sacks a pawn, just opening up things at the wrong time, can be real tough. Oh no, it's not even a sack because you can take back with check, and your knights, your king's getting opened up more and more. Yeah, tough stuff for black to deal with here. Knight h5. I mean, first question is, does white even mind? This gives them, you know, an open g file to play with against the king side, which could be quite nice. They still have this e6 move anyway. So they can, for instance, like move, and if you take, they can take with check first. If you take back with your king, man, they can even bring their queen in at that point here, or they can take first and still have that hanging. So e6 might still be something scary to consider. Probably John's like calculating all of this now. They can also just drop the bishop back. I feel like d2 would not be where it goes. Maybe, so it's c1 or e3, so probably e3. And you can always play f4 yourself with your pawns. But e6 is probably the critical move to consider here. If you're asking if I have a dog, I don't. Me and my wife considered getting one before we got pregnant, and even while pregnant, we still went to a few pet shops and looked at some breeders and stuff. And we would love to have a border collie poodle mix. That's kind of our dream dog, so to speak. It's really cute. It might be hypoallergenic, meaning the hairs don't fall off so much, which is great for my wife because she's got a bit of a skin condition that's very frustrating to deal with. If you weren't talking about me, then no, I don't know you. Maybe you were asking if some rapid player has a dog that they jog with, which is kind of my dream. I want to go jog with the dog. Yo, what happens on e6? Do you push past and just leave the pawn there? It's going to be there for a long time though. It's hard to get rid of it. If you take, your king's getting stuck in the corner. Then they can put that dark square bishop on the e5 square. That's looking really nice for white. See, my son is still napping, yes. Good man. Yep, he's still good. Yo. Yeah, okay, yeah. John's in the tank doing his calculations now, for sure. E6 takes here first. Takes looks really good, though. You kind of have to take back. And then you've got this check. Oh, maybe this is what John is calculating now. Like, should I take here to remove the king's defenses, and then where do they jump the knight? Oh, then this hangs. Oh, no, that knight can take it. Never mind. Then the guy can come back. You probably don't want to jump it here because it could just get taken. Alright, I'm expecting him to play it because I can't see anything fantastic that's wrong with it. Elias, good morning. May I ask how you got from South Africa to Japan? Is it too blunt to say with an airplane? I'm not. Do you mean how I got to live in Japan? I'm assuming that's the case, right? That would make more sense. I moved here on a English teaching program called the JET program, Japan Exchange, something, I don't remember. I can open it up later to show you briefly. Hang on, let me just leave my arrow. I'm almost certain it's going to be e6. And I think black, maybe not taking, maybe doing something else. But I mean, the king is getting kind of, you know, emptied out here. Yeah, with an airplane. I got here with an airplane. I joined a English teaching program, and I did that for 3 years. You have a 90-pound dog, half American Foxhound, half Pit Bull. Goodness me. Alright, I don't work in pounds, so that's still very heavy, right? What's a pound? Like 2 point something kilograms. Anyway, that's not a small puppy. I'm taking it. But I don't know what an American Foxhound looks like. And how did an American Foxhound and a Pit Bull mate? If I'm assuming their sizes are not like Pit Bulls aren't like stocky, right? They're not like. Oh, and a Bulldog is small. A Pit Bull can be quite big, actually, isn't it? It's still a big dog. Man, I'm not remembering. All right, John. We know you're gonna play it. You're just planning all your plans. Just play the move already. Oh man. Oh, I didn't open up the stream with the classic line. Hi guys, this is John's game. Or hi John, this is Guys. Could have tried any of those. Pity, I forgot. I was too sleepy. Yeah, okay, this is definitely. Yeah, there we go. He just had to figure out the complications first. Alright, but he clearly found something sufficient, and even to my untrained eye, e6 just looks classically fantastic. If that rook was still here, maybe it looks slightly less appealing, because then take, and the rook takes. not so scary. Although again, this open G file is a little bit concerning. You know, you gotta think that this is gonna give white some play, because black's got this situation with a rook and a bishop that can't really play, and the queen's kind of, yeah, unfortunate. Tough situation for black to be in, I think. About 40 kilograms. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. 2 point something. Yeah, 40k is big, man. Big for a dog. Your wife rescued it as a puppy. No idea how big it would get. Nice. That's very good. As a master does. Jordan, for which part? For just playing it because it looks good? I mean, I did some playing because it looks good in my previous game this week, and it was an absolute disaster. But I also played just the worst kind of way strategically. We're up to 19 now. Yeah, like 55. Just never gonna happen, Barbalay. I'm so sorry. We just do not have enough people awake at the right time right now. I guess John has got a lot of fans in Europe, but Friday evening is just too social. After work, TGI Friday, everyone's out having a life. Honestly, I'm guessing the evaluation is good for black or good for white already. You know, these rooks are slightly incorrectly placed now, but this guy could lift if you needed to. It could also come back if the file opens up, so it's not that bad. And in the meantime, you know, black's just struggling to kind of control their own area. What if you play the knight back now and you're just like, cool, you know, you got your pawn past me, but I'm just gonna chill. Actually, this is looking a little bit appealing to me, to be honest. I'm kind of liking that. Because taking looks insane. It's so scary. Taking this way again allows white to do all these things. Mongoose Carlson says that they didn't have e6 as a candidate move, but it's interesting and it's getting a bit sharper. It is. I honestly think knight f6 might be the best way to go here. I'm not sure, but I get a feeling, you know? No thinking through the complications before playing a tactical move like that. Jordan, that is probably what masters do, which is probably why I'm not a master. Hello, Rank Vice. I'm trying to play more positional and analyze positions. In this, I can't think of positional, plus black has here, though, maybe the bishops. A positional move. I think, honestly, the move is to put the knight back on f6. Taking the pawn and taking the bishop both just look like they give white just a dream situation. And you also got to remember the reason that white took with the pawn in the first place was to dislodge your knight. So I would personally love to put the knight back on f6. I think now that white has played their d pawn over to e6, it may be kind of it's spent their positional kind of pressure advantage kind of stuff. So I think f6 and just knight f6 and just like, you know, cool, fair enough, but actually still not quite clear how you're going to win just yet. Maybe. I feel that's the move here for sure. Yeah, Jordan, yeah, I think this is probably worse than round 2. Round 1 time was much better. Go back to weekend games. Oh yeah, I mean, they're still keeping together pretty well, right? Wasn't round 2 really? Oh, they do take the bishop. I just don't think that was very good. Oh, Banana Monkey, I feel very worried for you. Friday night like this is a bit rough. I can expect it, yeah. What's the most amount of league games people have played in one day? In one day, I have no idea. At one time, I have covered up to 10 games in like a 2-3 hour stretch. I think I once even covered like 11, but it was insane. Like there's just too much going on. You barely have time to really talk about anything. A good amount is about, I would say about 4, 5, maybe 6 games at the same time. Yeah, Buffer Underrun says this looks a bit suicidal. Yeah, I'm not a fan of taking the bishop. Knight x f4, I think, just asks for trouble. Yeah, they've got the same idea. Epitr has the same idea. It takes with the knight, and queen f5, and your king has to run back. The knight falls. But I actually think taking the knight, opening up the g file is better for white. I don't see black being able to muster up an immense attack here. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know. I feel like this open file could be quite useful. I guess we'll have to see. We're up to 21 now, though. 21 on stream, 21 in the chat, so it is still climbing a little bit. I guess people are slowly getting back to their computers and leeches. I don't know, but I'm sure it was a Saturday when multiple leagues were running and some players multiple games in a day, like a Lonewolf TL or something. Yeah, that makes sense. How many games are going on at the same time? Yeah, I meant to ask how has any one person played like 3-4 games in one day? Jim, I know I've had teammates who played like 2 leagues at the same time same day, not same time. That's a bit insane. They played like their Lone Wolf game and then they played their league game or series and Lone Wolf or something like that. Then it wouldn't be a teammate. So series and league, or series and league and Lone Wolf. Okay, so they're trying to figure out what's best here. Take first and leave that pawn. Probably taking first is fine if you can use this open file. Because again, as soon as black takes, you take with check. Comfortable. You can also play f5 then, just solidifying, although you probably want to keep your queen's diagonal open. So I think, yeah, I think taking with the pawn is probably best first. You have to take back, otherwise you just continue with more check stuff and you lose so much material. So take it with the king. And then your bishop's hanging, which I just realized means you can't do this slow thing I want to do. Honestly though, I would say take, and taking the knight still feels... If you're a master and you're calculating the lines, I think that you're going to find that g-file really useful. Yeah, here they go. Yeah. I mean, now that pawn is still hanging, this bishop is not under attack, this check is still there, and the open file is just looking so dangerous. Okay, so what do you do as black right now? Your queen still isn't actually playing. Your king is also not playing. This pawn's kind of hanging here now, so... If you took, for instance, and rook over, is there a way where sacking the bishop is useful? No, probably not. So now white has to kind of make some plan. Honestly, I think king h1 is probably the move here. Yeah, I don't know how many games are going on at once now, but I saw 15 plus before the... Yeah, that's... Maybe 960 Lone Wolf. Yeah, with 960 now it might be easier because it's also a shorter game, right? King g8, bishop f6. You mean bishop e6, I guess. Bishop c8 or some ideas. f6. Oh, you mean for black, right. Bishop c8. Yeah, I think bishop c8 feels a bit slow. I think you got to kind of do something. Unless you can, for instance, do this, hit the queen and that bishop and make that work in some way. I think you got to do something on your king side. How bad is it to play g6 here? I guess f5 just kind of puts you in trouble. h6, everything is just really slow. All of this is just really slow. You want to play bishop to f6 at some point, almost certainly. Do you actually do that and let them take the pawn, push the queen away? Maybe they check you here, or they just put the queen around. Yeah, oh, actually, you know what? If they put their queen here, then bishop c8 would be really good. Because you hit the queen and the bishop same time, so that might be very useful. Taking back control of that diagonal. Yeah. That could work quite nicely, I think.
Oh, buffer underrun found something here which is quite dangerous as well. E4 is now possible. Nothing's covering the square. Queen's still opposite that rook. Although I don't know if you care about it just yet. Probably as white, you're keen for the pawn, maybe for the check. This knight is a little bit out of the game. You know, also knight e4 is possible. Actually, that might be quite good, being able to come over this side. Or if the bishop comes here, being able to hit the bishop like that to try and grab it. Oh, but then you can take and you trade everything off. I'm going to sneeze, sorry. Oh, okay, I think it's back to some green tea now. Did I finish my yogurt? I did. Okay, so I don't think it's bishop c8. I think you want to try and do something a little bit more. Zubin El Ganubi, come stream, come to stream. Ganubi, live on YouTube at. Oh, they do play it. Yeah, I felt like you want something happening around your king here rather. Anyway, if you do take, maybe they take with the rook. Maybe you take with the queen actually to get onto this diagonal. That could be good. Takes with the queen, and then even if you take something like this, because their check isn't available, you can actually do a counter check. Then you can bring your rook over. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel like this was a great move for black, but maybe they saw a little bit deeper than I did. Yeah. I'll tell them to hurry up, you need to sleep. I'm afraid we can't talk to them, right? Can't tell them much of anything. Oh, my son's awake. Oh, good morning. The nanny came as a microphone, which is really nice. I can say good morning. Now I'm gonna have to go back to work in a week and a bit. Then all of life changes again. Because actually this whole time that we've been streaming so much, I've been on paternity leave. So we'll see. Alright, bishop c8. What do? Do you take it? If you take the h-pawn, you're still defending your bishop. So you can take the h-pawn, they take your bishop, you take back with your queen again. Your upper pawn, you still have control of the light squares here. You've got two different checks on the king. No trading. I guess because you have this threat available, because you have this e4 square for something. Although now, maybe, oh, you know what, maybe white is saying they're just going to slowly crush open the middle because you're developed in a kind of uncomfortable manner. So maybe it's not a direct king attack. Maybe it's just a slowly working up to the attack kind of situation, you know? Uncle Vinny asked something. What did Uncle Vinny? Kind of odd that Leeches doesn't have this as the classical TV choice right now. Ah, okay. Yeah, Neverness says that it's because that I'm Fence is provisional. That might be though. I don't know how the Leeches TV stuff works, so I can't really say. I mean in that order, King G8 and then something like Bishop F6 to try and Bishop. Oh yeah. So, no, I mean I also like the other moves ahead of Bishop C8, but it looks like actually it worked out for black to some degree because they got control of the diagonal back, which is pretty good. Yeah. Queen D6 is to defend the 6th rank. Any idea? Oh, rank wise, thank you very much for subscribing. I think you're the newest subscriber as well to the channel. Appreciate it very much. I would pop some celebratory thing, but I don't have anything to pop. Yeah. Do you get to see baby? Probably not, to be honest, Jordan. I don't really want to put my kid on stream too much. You'll notice I haven't used his name once either. I think there's a limit to how much I can include my family before maybe they just kind of like
one day go, I didn't really like that. Why did you do that? So, yeah, maybe I'll change my mind. You've seen like the back and the side of his head though, when I've been holding him in some of the streams, but probably no formal introduction on stream. So yeah, we'll see. Queen x h8, rook h8. Rook h8 and the queen has to run all the way back. Oh, it's raining. Here's the rainy season again. Let's see, let's see. What is defense of Finn's fame? It is, and they are playing in our League Chess Lonewolf League, and we are streaming it. And all the hype and happiness. Come join our league. We don't have a WFM yet, I think. Oh, yes, Bobby. Yeah, feed Bobby awake as well. Good morning, Bobby. Yeah, so I think someone just said it. Jordan, was it you? There's some pressure and taking chances over here now. So for instance, if you take like this, you can block that, I guess, but then you can do this again, and that's very uncomfortable. Oh, but it's not mate. Take here. Oh, sorry. Take here. Oh, because the queen's gonna hang in whatever version you take. You know, if you run away, the rook hangs here and that the queen is under attack. You can also just move here to take the queen and the rook this way. Yeah, a lot of threats happening right now. Maybe it's something like this is the move here. I just don't think you can defend everything, unfortunately. This diagonal is a problem. What to do? Pish posh. I'm trying to invite this WFM in chat to come to the league. Can everyone else quickly go to the team, go to the game? Just go, come to the league, come to the league. Yeah. Now threatening on the D pawn. Correct. Bishop xh8. Hey Martin, good morning. Oh no, good night. It's midnight. Are you up watching league games? It's Friday. I guess you can be watching the CS Major, right? I know that there were some games happening already at the start of the streaming today, but I wasn't available to watch, so I couldn't. I was sleeping. Yeah, I feel black just has to return with bishop b7. Okay, so we have a WFM saying bishop b7 might be the move. Instead, they just take the rook off of the diagonal. Queen xh7. Oh, so they actually had this idea. Take here and then take here. Interesting. I think we can sack and take on h7. Take h7. Well, clearly I'm being out analyzed here. Tell me why this is great. 1 a.m. and then we are out, so that's a one pick'em. Woo! Congratulations. Watching Magnificent Sim with the wife. Oh, very good movie, right? Very good. Hey, some rapid player back from your jog. I hope it was good. The game is still really fun. I'm trying to figure this out. So they think they can... A-set thinks they can sack. Oh, knight takes x now. I thought they said bishop x first. Anyway, bishop x, and then queen takes here. Oh, and you're surrounding the king. This pawn is still weak, still pinned to the queen. Yeah. And John still has a 2-minute time advantage on the clock. Congratulations, John, on not being behind in time. I'll drink my green tea to that. Yeah, this is getting rather exciting. If you take first, it's a little bit too slow. Oh yeah, Mortemort's on Leech's chat as well. Martin, you're everywhere. Very fun. Yeah, I'm not holding back. We even did a little like advertising ahead of the time to let people know that the stream was coming. I was too excited. Okay, so I mean clearly White's thinking about something here. E4 is maybe just a bit slow. Maybe e d5, and then the pawn gets a little bit stuck. It's not gonna fall, but this doesn't really help you as much. Didn't Finn sack a piece on d5 last game? I never finished watching last game, so I'm unfortunately not sure. I really wish. I already DM'd A set last week a bit, and they said they aren't interested in joining but appreciate our recruiting hustle. Oh, very nice, Jordan. That's why they told me in the stream you guys are so quick with your invites. Alright, very good, very good. Have you messaged I am Rosen as well, by the way? Yeah, as they say, it's easier to sack when you're not the one playing it, alright? Hmm. Okay, he's probably just trying to figure out if he should sack or not immediately, but I guess there's probably going to be a sacrifice. What if you just take here first? Even if the rook comes over, your queen can return. You can take. You don't want to take. Probably, yeah, probably taking the pawn first is a bit uncomfortable here. So it really is just this. Oh, he sacked the rook last game. Nice. Alright. Oh, Barbale, by the way, the number is rising a little bit. We're up to 31 spectators on Lichess right now. Yeah. Uncle Vinny, welcome to the chat. I don't think I've seen you on stream before. I'm so glad to have you here. I wonder if the mods have been overwhelmed with a lot of new people joining the leagues. I'm one of the Lone Wolf mods, and yes, we do have a lot of people joining. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't meet the requirements, specifically the provisional ratings. So something I started doing like a year and a bit ago was just sending people a message on Lichess. Thank you for supplying. Please, look at your rating and fix it up, and then we'll review your application. So yeah, we've seen some more people come in. I haven't actually looked at the amount of players recently, to be honest. Maybe after the game is done, we can quickly have a look at that just for the fun of it. But yes, we have seen a lot of people applying. People have straight out said, I'm one of Finn's fans. I saw he's playing in the league, so I came as well. So yeah, it's definitely happening. Title players might be scared to lose to JV. Yeah, he's known to have been probably strong enough to become a GM if he invested the time. Oh yeah, there we go with the knight. So he finally pulls the trigger now that he's slightly down on time. Yeah, Vinny, people are just gonna have to play a few extra games classical. The fastest classical control I think you can have is it like 15 plus 15 is classical, 15 plus 10 is still rapid or something. It's actually there's like a quite a low level where classical starts. So although many people feel like, oh, I can't invest all that time, it's actually not that many games and that much time. So yeah. It would be good to have more. Yeah, I think it'd be really nice to have more, specifically because it brings a lot of excitement, and obviously for us as people who are learning how to play, it's pretty good. Okay, so sorry, we got to get back into this. Okay, so Black says, cool stuff. I'm not gonna take that knight. You're opening up against my queen with any kind of jump. Maybe just back here is actually good now because of this bishop. Let's see. I mean, you got to be so much more concrete now with what you're looking at. So let's say the knight just jumps back. Is it something like this to put pressure on the pawn here? Do you go up here to put pressure on this pawn? The other thing is your rooks aren't connected. So if the queen gets off the back rank, this guy can't come over to push anything away, I guess. Yeah. Okay, he played it, so it must be winning. Very nice. Yeah, now queen takes h7 isn't an attempt on anything, like queen x8, rook h8. Yeah, it just pushes away. And actually there, if you were to do something silly like this now, maybe the queen comes back here, I don't know. Then queen over here actually threatens double, triple problemos. So, yeah, it can get dangerous and scary very quickly. But white probably wouldn't play something like that. I like the Aset's comment. So instead of checkmated, it's just regular bad. No broadcast. Fins is recording and we'll post later. We are streaming on YouTube though. I'm not holding back. Don't hate me for it. There we go. See if we can get some new people in here. Okay, going down on the clock now, John. Time to make a move. Yeah, I'm Andras and I'm explained. I can see Andras getting involved actually. He's very active with looking for ways to create content. You know, I can see him doing live and trying some new things all the time. Chess Explained, I don't follow them, so I don't know exactly what's happening, but I know that they like to play Blitz a lot, but maybe that means the other time controls are too slow. Oh wow, okay, just insisting that you make some decision here. B4, protected here, so you can move the bishop back to cover the queen, I guess. You can be sad and put it back where it came from. I don't really know how many other choices you have. Yeah. At this point, I guess most moves are looking good for white. Okay, wow. And instantly they even did this. So take there, takes back with the king instantly, and the queen checks. So now the queen's at least out of that situation, which means this guy is going to hang. So clearly black is still worse, but, you know. Alright, so if you take back here, this is a check. You've also got queen c7 check directly, which also hits the rook in the corner. So at minimum, white can be like, sweet, thanks for the rook, I suppose. Knight before queen h4. Queen h4. Oh, if this was happening, yeah. Alright, you gotta move. I mean, this pawn is under fire. This knight is protecting this pawn under fire. This guy's gonna be under threat, maybe? I don't know, maybe not really, I don't know, I'm not sure. This is clearly the normal move, protecting the backwards pawn here. Is there any reason you don't want to play this? King g1. King g1 and what? We'll see, we'll see. Technically, you can berserk classical as well. That's kind of silly. 25 plus 0 is classical. Yeah, 25 plus 0 isn't too bad either, I guess. Greetings, I'm going to join a competition next season. Yannick the Bee. Come to the competition. It's really good. It's a great community. We've got multiple leagues, which is likely okay because e3 betrayed bishop e4 looks a bit. How's black a bit? Ah, I see. They're still going on the knight b4 plan. It's done now. Moving on. Alright, so black to move again. Clearly they want to take, but the king still just, you know, as soon as you take, at least they can go here and take a rook in the corner. They can also just take with check, and then again if you do this, they can go here, although at that point I guess, I wonder, take here, block with the bishop, come here. If you move the king away, you can probably still take, because if you take like this, yeah, this is looking just really, really uncomfortable for black. Just so much open space around their king. Here, okay, maybe black wanted to trade this way, but of course trading bishop xd5 is much better for white than the other way. Okay, well, actually I'm kind of losing track of all the lines they're discussing. I can't watch all their lines and the game at the same time. 1 plus 40 is classical? I can't have 1 plus 0 is classical, you have 1 plus 40 is Brazilian. That's crazy. Leech's method's main thing. Main time plus 40 times increment in the buckets are 30, 35. Okay, Rank Vice clearly knows a little bit about how things are set up here. 1 plus 40 is classical. That's insane. Can we make that a league arena 1 plus 40? Yeah, absolutely interesting. I've come back to Leeches recently and I played 7 classical games since then with a question mark, but I'm averaging between 22 and 23. That's very strong, well done. How to get a stable rating? Deviation under 110, exactly. Some rapid play already answered it. Your rating deviation has to be under 110. Okay, I'm gonna get back to the game, guys. Okay, so they don't go for the initial grab on the pawn. They're actually gonna go here directly. So this rook is hanging either way. So maybe white's just gonna say, cool, I'm gonna take this material and then we'll go from there. Oh wow. A set, if you are going to be this invested and just join the community and be invested with us. Pro tip, you can join this Lone Wolf League, then put yourself as unavailable and just chill in the Slack workspace. I'm a mod. I approve. Alright, blocking with the bishop, which connects the rooks at least, but the bishop is still hanging, obviously. So they're losing as little material as possible. By the way, Banana Monkey, I'm going to say it now, ups for continuing playing. Clearly the position is quite terrible, but they are not giving up. They're still going for it. I love it. I'm really, really glad that they are still playing the game. I think many people, knowing who they're playing, knowing the situation, might have been like, you know what, this is a bit much. I'm out. Super glad they're not doing that. Okay, sorry, you guys can deal with the stream chat quickly. I can't do all of this. Interesting. Also, taking with the queen to keep the bishop around the king. Very safe. Flippy multitasking. Yeah, Flippy's doing a lot. Okay, now just queen back, which defends the e-pawn as well. Oh, okay. Alright, so taking stock of the situation. White just won a bishop. Pawns are... Okay, and a pawn, I guess. And a pawn. So they've got this guy, which can be a defended passer. And they've got a bishop, which is looking pretty good. Black has got an inactive rook, an active rook. Although this rook is maybe like just the tiniest bit better than the A1, I guess. But they also have a rook that can run up the file directly, which is very nice. Yo. Brings the queen back, pressure on the e-pawn. Also pressure on the b-pawn. Alright. Come on, Banana Monkey. I would love to see them fight back a little bit. I mean, it's clearly been outplayed a little bit in this opening with all the moves on the bishop here, the light square bishop, and then the pawns. I think c6 was unfortunate. Having to bring the bishop back was unfortunate. And slowly but surely the position just got worse for them. You gotta kind of respect and admire how Finns is able to just make the opponent's position kind of worse by just developing and putting their pieces out nicely and move ordering a little bit, you know. I wish I was as strong as that. That's really, really nice. Gotta love chess, man. There's always so much more to improve. Queen e7 wins a pawn hype. Yeah. Yeah, it might win a pawn, but is it worth it? You're still down a piece at the very least. Still, Banana Monkey fighting back. Gotta love it. And the game's been going for about an hour and 15 minutes. They started exactly on time. So let's hope that the game can continue a bit further. My kingdom for a pawn. Yeah. Feingold always has a lot of comments, right? And the one they say, which I really like, they said recently was, I think Yasser apparently says it, which is like going down with a full stomach. Like, if you're going to lose by taking as many pieces and pawns as you can. Alright, cool. So we take the pawn. White doubles up, threatening back rank mate. Now you have to play one of these pawns up. If you play this one up, white can go here, threatening the same thing. So now white can just kind of continue threatening stuff. Same threat renewed with the bishop, and you either have to take it or you have to play your g-pawn up as well. The one I played, Banana Monkey, he played till mate in queen plus king versus king. Very nice. Alright, cool. So Mennonite says Banana Monkey is definitely a long-term player down to the wire. I mean, I think this is just easy for white as like a continuation. Same threat. And then you kind of have to move the pawns, or you have to move your king out. So here, king out, check, 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 take, take. You can go here, I guess. But then this pawn drops. Yeah, this is unfortunate. This is a tough one. I mean, now also you can say black at least has a slight pawn structure advantage, I guess. You know, just counting your pennies, putting them all together. I've got a slight pawn structure advantage, looking great. Yeah, alright, thanks, man. Oh, nice. Against the CM, damn. I'm so impressed people are so good at chess. I wish I was as good. Honestly, I would love to be amazing at chess. I saw recently that there's someone called Charlize von Sale, who is, I think, a WFM as well, who is South African. And she's at all the main events. She's helping with some of the analysis or panel work or something. I don't even know who this person is, but, you know, there's another South African involved in global chess, international chess, which is really cool. Alright, I'm expecting... They could also just trade off immediately, I guess. But I don't think that's necessary. I think inserting a move like this is much nicer. Mongoose might have resigned immediately to avoid wasting time, obviously. Oh yeah, Quit it says, so, you know, resigning, obviously, just... If you know you're losing, you avoid wasting your own time. I almost always play on for a while. Partly because I've won games in completely lost positions, also drawn them, and also because I just want to play more chess. I don't want to admit the defeat yet, I want to play on a little bit. He said, I've already wasted well over 12,000 hours by deciding to play chess. What's one more? Yeah, fair enough. That's a good point. Finn's down on time. Jim, Finn is down to 2 minutes, but he's clearly winning. Who was the person who said that they were watching the game and then their wife called from the other room, what's happening? And they said, Finns is winning, but he's down on time. And she said, naturally, or like, yeah, that's what you'd expect, or whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, this is classic Finns, right? As soon as they get into that last, like, winning position, they sit there and they calculate and they go down on time, but then hopefully they're winning. Oh, man. Oh, this is what your... Is that what my accent is? Oh, yes. I have a South African accent, I guess. Although, it's not nearly as strong as some others. Although my mother is currently visiting Japan because of my son, so she's here to meet her grandchild, her 5th one, another boy. Still waiting to see if any of us will have a girl, although I think only me and my wife are still looking to have more children at this point. Both my siblings have 2 each already, 2 boys. So she's here, so I speak a lot of Afrikaans with her, and I realized recently I struggle to pronounce numbers. So in my head I know what I want to say, but then I swap it around. So instead of saying 32, I say 23. Oh, okay, and black just drops back. Just getting defensive. Okay, so now there's no back rank situation. Oh, this is what happened. Sorry, I missed it to actually put pressure on the rook this way. I was just going to say, hang on, wasn't it white's move? Alright, so it drops back. Pressure on the pawn. Pushes the pawn forward. Nice one. Come on, Banana Monkey. Keep on putting that time pressure on Finns. He's going to have to play a blitz game soon. Alright. Blocks up the pawn so the queen side isn't going anywhere anymore. Now also you have this kind of backwards pawn, which is a bit uncomfortable to defend. And you can no longer put your g-pawn up because your king is stuck here. So I think you actually have to start walking your king out, like over here. Okay, never mind. They're coming out onto this file instead. The king's not going to be doing anything. Put John under time pressure. You got to put John under time pressure before we finish this game. I want to see him go down to under a minute, and then he'll say like, "Oh, we always got to remember we have that 30-second increment. It's always there for us," or something like that. So, yeah, I'm so excited to watch this game's video afterwards to see how much of the stuff we discussed or like said in the chat or I said is happening. We can have like a Finn's bingo card. Did he say time advantage? Did he say, I mean, you know, all the things I was talking about now? I can't keep a list of all of it. Bishop e4 was funny. Yeah, I thought bishop e4 was pretty good. I thought that was a great move earlier on already. Anyway. Alright, black again. Now everything's getting defended more and more. Is g4 a move now? No, you just drop the pawn. Yeah, they say that bishop e4 might have been good. I think bishop e4 was good everywhere. Almost everywhere, because it just allowed you to get on that diagonal at the right time. As long as you had a rook or something over here defending it, or now when they're not defending it, then you just be able to play it anyway. Oh my word. Alright, suggest a move for black. Honestly, I think it might be move the king over, because I don't know what else to do. Your pawns are kind of stuck here. You can't move this one forward. Okay, they're bringing the other rook out to get active. So clearly that puts this pawn in a bit of a sticky situation. White can now attack it. You can go back and defend it. And then everyone's just defending everything. White can also do this though. Okay, no, bishop coming out, just blocking up the file. And John's climbing back on time. 3 minutes. John's getting back. He's climbing out of the hole. Looking good. Hey, Fast Furrier Fox. How you doing? Alright, it's nice to see you here. We're almost at 30 consecutive viewers, at least from my little view over here. Oh, I'm gonna make a last call for the YouTube stream. Come join the fun at... I have no idea if we'll get more viewers, but we've got to try and get over 30 just for the fun of it, because I don't think I've had over 30 once. I think I've had in the high 20s before though, like we have now. Wrongface says, I'm here with my coffee. I only have one thing this morning. I'm safe. I'm safe. Only had one so far. I'm still finishing up my green tea, although no, I think I'm actually done. Alright, but I had 2 cups of green tea, so I should be good for a while as well. And I'm still on leave. Gotta love this paternity leave. You wouldn't believe subs only chat. You can unsub after. Just like the league where you can go unavailable. No pressure or scams. There we go. Oh yeah, king up finally. I thought maybe king over here, but up's good. Yeah, Quidit says what counterplay? I mean, trying for counterplay, Quidit. Playing with the dream. Okay, now they're coming for the pawn at the back, and now you can't defend it anymore. Okay, this is now unfortunately getting a little bit rough. Oh, hang on, you can play here. Putting pressure on that bishop. Oh, it doesn't work, does it? Take, and you can take either way. Take with the rook even, because then... Okay. Oopsie daisy. Can't blame me. Blame me for trying. Okay. Trying hard to keep the position going. Alright. Opposing the bishop. So now we're one more bishop. Pawn trade down. Hang on. So if you... Okay. If we didn't do this. If we just put the other rook here as well and trade it off. I mean, the king pawn endgame is still winning as well. Because you can defend everything and run your king over this way, I guess. Would it? I think it's still winning. But anyway, they didn't do that. Just push the king back. In here, maybe. Maybe just the king's going to start running up now. This might be a nice move for white as well. Just trap the king in the corner there for a little bit. And then obviously the back rank is always basically mate, so a marathon mover. Yeah, I like this move for white in general. I mean, just here putting pressure on that pawn in the long run isn't bad. Cutting the king off from coming forward is probably good. But in this case, I could do this as well. I think for white, yeah, okay, this is a nice move. Just, you know, king's just kind of stuck here. Then I can get you stuck some more, and your king just can't get out anymore, right? If you start running your rook out, it's always kind of matey on the back rank, because I can check you. You probably don't want to walk into it and give me the pawn so you run backwards. Here, but then you have to run back again. Oh man. 34. Still not quite there. Oh, we hit 30! 30 on stream. Thank you very much. I'm so excited. Happiness. And a dream. Okay, so they're not coming to check to cut him off here. They're cutting him off on this side. Interesting. I thought this would be the move to get on the second rank. Put pressure on that pawn. But they put their rook on e4 instead. I guess it's because this is mate now, so the rook can never leave. And your king can't run away anymore. Alright, so black is legit just running. So now these pawns can't really go anymore. These pawns really can't go anymore. The king can't run away because you basically just run into like a trade-off of the last rook. So all you have left is this rook moving back and forth on the back rank now. Is there anything else? Hang on, let's see. I'm here with a coffee. Fast verify. I work now, so I can't watch your... Ah, okay. Congratulations on getting a job or going back to work. I'll going back to work on the 23rd of this month as well. You will see a significant decline in my activity because I will have to balance work along with everything else in life. 31. Very excited. Very excited. I want to get A set to come onto the stream, even if they just come say hi. Here, and I guess at that point, white's just going to start running their king up. So you can defend everything. You can't move anything anymore, but you can defend everything. But then white still has a king that can move, and it's over in that way. Yeah, they said the king is heading to c7 now. Yeah. Alright, I mean, I don't mind seeing this. Boom, 32. Did we hit 32? Going once, going twice. I don't remember. Oh, interesting. They're not going to go completely passive. They're going to go for some counterplay. So you take... we can take king up, take the pawn and have a passer to run with. I mean, you have to, because what else are you doing at this point? Oh no, okay, they are literally just going to be... I mean, you could have taken that and then dropped that pawn and had this guy running, try to get around. Oh no, hang on, this is still mate, what am I talking about? Okay. Yo, Banana Monkey playing it down to the last, down to the very last. 140, he would hit, oh man. Back up to 30 again. Come on, Banana Monkey! I mean, you're getting completely crushed. You did once already this game. Alright, here we go again. Trying to get that A-pawn running. Here comes the king. Check the king. Can't go there. Can go here though. And again, you can't do anything. Okay, now you're stuck again. Now you either have to start sacking pawns, yeah, or you have to defend pawns. Here comes the king. Here, here. When no one is looking. Yes, I can imagine John pre-moves his Scandi. Yes. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Now the king's just coming in. Okay. Sacking the pawn. Black is really just... You know, you gotta make me. You gotta make me. Nothing else is okay. But now we've gotten through the heavy calculations, so they can just play kind of blindfolded. You gotta run your rook all the way away. Now they have a passed pawn. Oh, they can even just do this to push your rook around once more. Can white just trade off everything? Here, check, take, everything, take here. King over here, and they're just going to push the passer through. So yeah, they can actually trade off now, I think. Has anyone ever pulled off a Lefong in the league? Mennonite, what is a Lefong? I'm not sure what that is. 200 views. Gotta love it. 34 on the game, so we're not even close to that up under. Okay, never mind, he's not going to. I thought this would be kind of fun. Just trade off everything and take and convert it into that king pawn winning in-game. Never mind. Finns has no mercy. He's such a nice guy, but he's such a ruthless person on chessboard. Alright, yeah, now they're just going to push this guy through. Okay, black's playing all the way to mate. Gotta love it. Playing all the way to mate. If you take now, it's still not stalemate because the king can move. So take here. Yeah, pre-moved it. GG. GG. What a game. Great fun to cover. Have our Finns bingo cards ready for the recap video. GG Monkey. Great fight as well. Yeah, gotta give it up for Monkey having a great fight. That was very good stuff. Feet, you got something to say? What's up? Longest game against Finns award. Yeah, so far. I survived 50 moves. Oh, I see. Yeah. Fair enough. What's up, Feet? You got something? Thanks for covering the game. Yeah, great fun. I mean, I had a great time covering this. I was super excited when John was joining. I wanted to do like a video interview with him towards the end of the season. I thought like a video interview with them would be really fun, and we could put the transcript into the ledger. If we can't link it, I know there might be some problems with linking videos in the ledger. Maybe not, I'm not sure, but I thought that could be really enjoyable. So I'm reserving my excitement on that point because I don't know if I'll be allowed to do it, but I think it would be great to get John onto the stream and have a chat a little bit about their enjoyment for this kind of stuff, why they came in the first place, and so on and so forth. Okay, should we jump into the analysis board? Okay, yeah, because they're going to do the analysis board now, right? So should I just pop over to the analysis board now? Let's see what it says. Nice stream. Thanks a lot, Jordan. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your support for all of this happening. I can see you piling time into the community. Hey, now your newest interest is to try and get the ledger a little bit more organized, right? So I appreciate it big time. Thanks a lot for all your effort always, hey. Alright, so let's look. Oh, actually I had a little bit of a little dip here. Not clean, John, not clean. Alright, but anyway, 97% accuracy for Finns with 1 inaccuracy, 90% for Banana with 2 blunders, 1 mistake and 1 increment. 2 blunders. Oh yeah, okay, so they went wrong twice in a row, which gave White just a crushing +3 advantage. Fair enough. That's a tough one. And actually, I think that's around about the time they went off theory as well, unfortunately, by playing... What did they play? Some C6 and something, or something and C6. Oh, Feet, you're just saying hi with support? I appreciate it. Thank you for showing support. Alright, so I told my wife this is going to be at least, probably about a 2-hour stream. We've only covered about an hour and a half, so... Who's spamming the reaction button so much? Is this Feet? You're going insane there, buddy. Thank you very much. So let's have a quick look here. So we know that we had theory. Let's just have a look here on Bishop A, because Bishop A6 is the main move in this situation. Okay, so this is not a line I know, but this is actually against the fianchetto. This is your primary move. Okay, Queen C2, B3, Queen A4. Yeah, I mean, I would say one of these moves is probably the norm. E3 someone asked about. Yeah, E3 not a great move, it looks like. C5 here. Okay. Interesting. C5 and then you play D5. Just telling Finns thank you for the game. They're so nice, right? Coming into the chat to say thanks for the all the watching people. Alright, let's continue here. So c5 was a nice move. Anyway, bishop back is already a move here. Bishop e7. Just saying, okay, fair enough. Alright, bishop d7 wasn't really a main move. So c5 is your main, bishop b. The check is also possible, but c5 is definitely your main situation here. Alright, back, bishop up, castle, castle. So this line actually works for black, it looks like. A little sideline. c6, c5, at the master level anyway. Let's actually have a look at top lead chess as well. Rapid and classical 2000 and above. That's what I call top. Yeah, d5 scores very well for black in this situation, it looks like. Bishop b looks equal, c6. Okay, so I mean, this wasn't losing by any means, right? We were still doing okay. Alright, bishop back. Hang on, let's stay in the master games first. Knight c3. Yeah, indeed d5, c5. You have to expand against this opening. You can't give white all of this space and control ongoing. They did play d5, very nice. C takes, and then knight takes and pawn takes, both winning at the master level the last two games. Still fair enough at top leeches though. It doesn't look like it was losing by any degree there. Takes, transposing into a few other games. Bishop f4, bishop g5, rook d1. Yeah, rook d1 a move here already as well. Bishop f4 the main, that makes sense. e5, that looks a bit premature. I don't really know what we're doing with that. Yeah, so bishop f4 and then knight a6 and knight bd and a6 itself. But it's looking a little bit good for white at the top level now, isn't it? Alright, knight bd, rook fd1. Alright, kind of proclaiming we're going to have most of the action happening on the queen side, at least at this point, right? Don't forget to subscribe. It's like crack for 50, feed the addiction. Yes, do that, do that. Thank you very much. As I said, my paternity leave is ending in about a week, and though I really enjoyed pumping hours into the stream and trying to grow it a bit and stuff, I'm not going to be able to continue being that active, so we're probably going to look at like one or two, maybe every Monday for the recap streams, and then at least my game every week, and we'll see. Like occasions like this where there's some kind of special thing, maybe I can still squeeze it in, but work is going to take a lot of the extra time out of each day now. Alright, so rook fd they played, and here's still a few moves. Okay, and this is where I know we went off. Rook c8 for me just looked really natural. I thought this would be played very, I guess after rook c8, knight b just feels a bit uncomfortable. You know, there's so much pressure over here. And you can take with the pawn, right? With the bishop, right? So that if the queen... if the rook takes, the queen can take, and it's good. If the queen moves back, you can move a rook over, and then you can move your queen out of the way, maybe. Oh, c5 is still pretty okay for white, but yeah, it's already better. Alright, so c6, and here we're out of... Oh, this is not where we went off the rails. So now top lead chess also doesn't have that many left. Bishop h3, actually transposing into one more top lead chess game. Rook e8 was the move there. Oh, very interesting. This is what they played as well. And then a4. I said I don't think that white wants to play a4. But anyway, alright, so they played the knight up. Now I think we can close this. They took back with the pawn. Knight h5 was fine. And here e6 was actually worse. Oh wow, so e6 was actually not completely solid. Okay. I wanted to play knight f6 here. Yeah, I wanted to do this. Is this just terrible? Yeah, this is just terrible. Okay, you have to take the bishop. Takes the pawn, takes with the king. gf. Okay, so here actually black was doing slightly better, hey? -1 almost. But they had to play bishop d. And then what? Just hang that pawn with the threat there and still have this plan later on. Bishop d. More coverage. Queen can come out. I want to say it's obvious, but it really very much wasn't, was it? I don't think anyone said bishop d6 for black. Okay. So I didn't find it, unfortunately. I didn't like this though. At least I can say that much. I wasn't a fan of that. Yeah, now it's just good for white. And I do believe that A set actually mentioned that you should bring your bishop back to B7. Round about here or the next move they said bishop back to B7 looks good. Okay, and then everything just fell apart. If you did do that, what's the difference here? Then you can take it, it's actually great. Because the pawn is protected. Oh wow, okay, yeah, it really shuts down that sacrificial resource for white. Okay, well, it didn't do that, unfortunately. Yeah, it was just crashing. White was just crashing, unfortunately, and then nice conversion. Oh wow. Okay, well, I think that's about as much content as I can squeeze out of this game right now. Really, really fun. Very, very nice. I'm super glad we got to do this. Not exactly taking an hour and a half. They did, yeah, they finished the game in just under an hour and a half. I will be looking forward to the recap video itself. Again, Banana Monkey, shout out to them for playing so long so we can have that nice little ending and see the conversion skill coming out from John as well, and obviously for putting up a great fight into the center of the game. Unfortunate they didn't find their chance there because it turns out that e6 was actually not good. e6 takes, and then you just had to play your bishop up. Alright, so maybe Finns also couldn't find the exact line, but just felt like they had practical chances, which I think, to be fair, if anyone looked at this position, probably would be like, that's a bit dangerous for black. And if you know who's playing on both sides, you'd probably be like, yeah, white's going to win this. Is there only one move here for black? No, they have a few. Oh wow, even king back is kind of okay. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Because this was clearly one of the moves they would have considered, right? So even here they're doing okay. That's really unfortunate. Oh, nice one, Martin. Have a good sleep. See you again. I'll chat to you about the major results tomorrow when you wake up. And maybe we can have the chat about your chess career starting as well. Let's have that. We can do it on stream maybe as well. That'd be fun. Okay, I'm going to call it then. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. If you are still watching and you are not a subscriber, do consider it. If you are a subscriber and you don't want to be, you can find the button as well. And yeah, this was a great time. Super thanks to BananaMonkey20 and Finns for playing the game. I'm going to put on the music, I'm going to get off, and I will see you guys back on Slack. And from my side, back on Monday with the recap for this week. And I think we'll be looking at Lonewolf a bit as well now, because after week 3, we should have enough games to start seeing some players getting ahead of the rest on the results. Cool. Oh, and by the way, if you're watching, if you're not a subscriber and you're not part of the community, do consider joining us. LeeChess4545. It's a really easy website to find. I will actually open it up quickly. .com basically, I think. Can I just type correctly? There we go. You can try and join for the team league, for this Lone Wolf league where you're playing individually, for the Blitz Battle, or for the Leeches 960 league here I see. I actually thought you had to join one of the top 2 to join for the rest, but it looks like you can actually just join for any of them. If you join any of the leagues, you'll get onto the Slack workspace, and then you can basically join any other league very easily, because only on your initial joining do we have a big check to make sure that your account is looking okay. But obviously, if you look dodgy during a league, we also have a look. And unfortunately, we do see some players falling out now and then. But we appreciate that we have some support to try and keep our community clean and fair and equal. So yeah, do consider joining us. A said if you're watching, get over here already. And see you guys in the future. Bye-bye.